butterflies in my chest. I should know this song better, but all I can do is sing along. Never know you'll move next, saying this or whatever, but every night I'm at your door. So just say
Hi everyone, welcome back. Look at what I have again. It is Dave Johnson. I don't know if it's this way or this way. Maybe it's this way. I know. Over here. And for those of you, thank you for all the new subscribers. I think I have had almost 1,000 new subscribers, and I hit 20,000.
Good job. Well done.
I know, over 20,000. I'm so impressed.
What'd you do?
I don't know. You know, I really don't know what happens. I'm like all of
I
a
tell
sudden.
you, it's just a question of pushing on through when you have a YouTube channel. You just push on through and not try not to worry too much
That
about
is
the other things that are going on because so much is going on right now. You need one less thing to worry about.
that is absolutely true. I just do my
Uh,
thing, put it out there, and whatever happens, happens. That is so true. But I
yeah.
am always very uh fondly aware of my subscribers because I can feel
Mm.
that. You know, the weird part about it, and we're gonna get back to you because of course, is once I started this, and I was mistaken. I thought it was 3 years ago I had my anniversary, but in March, but it's actually 4 years. I look back. So
Mm.
I want to correct that. It's been 4 years since I've been on. And I remember feeling it. I feel all the subscribers. I don't know how else to explain it. I had to come to terms with it. Had
Mhm.
a term to come. I at first for a long time when I had my subscribers around, like 1,000 or 2,000, I could feel people coming in and I could feel them leave. And
Mm.
the leaving part, I've discontinued with paying attention to that anymore because I just couldn't do it anymore. But when they left, it was something I said or did or they didn't like, right? And so I was chasing that energy, going, no, 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 no. And I had to give that up, of course.
Yeah.
But I was starting to do that. But I still feel them there. You know what do you understand what I'm
Mhm.
trying to say?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, onward, Dave. So you're in the middle of summer. You were just telling me that you just had like a heat wave go through.
Oh man, you can't believe the heat waves we have. It's just you can't believe it. Like one trick Lena Rodriguez told me is take your sheets and soak them in water and rinse them out so that they're damp. Put a fan on and lie under the sheet because the breeze will just keep you cool. And that's something like you have to do in Australia. It's not like an option. We don't have aircon the way that people in the US do. There's not the heat in the aircon that you would expect. So, I have an air conditioner 3 rooms away that's on full blast right now. So, I can actually sit here without sweating. It's
Right.
really extreme. You would be surprised at how hot it gets. In Australia, you never go for a walk without 2 bottles of water. It could be like a life and death situation. And if you're coming to Australia, do not hike alone. Do not swim alone ever. My advice.
Oh. Well, what was the temperature, the high temperature, the highest?
Over 100. I mean, it's been, I can't tell you what the temperature is because of course it's in
Celsius.
Celsius. I don't
Well,
really understand it
what was
still.
it in Celsius? I'll convert it.
I can't remember, but more than 100. I mean, more than 100 in Fahrenheit, not in
Okay.
Celsius. I think I've been here where people have translated it to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. If you just unconsciously, when you're walking across the street, unconsciously wait for the bus in the shade.
I
It's
bet. Everybody's
Yeah,
chasing under the tree, under this. Everybody's parking in the shade.
yeah, without thinking of it. It's just it's like a sort of unconscious habit that you start to have. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning before I do anything is I put on sunscreen before I use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, before breakfast, before coffee, because you need to have it sink in for 30 minutes before you go outside, right? So I literally keep it like next to the sink, so I remember first thing I don't forget.
I
Or I couldn't make videos in the morning, I'd be burned to a crisp.
bet. Goodness gracious. Well, so how's your videos going? How is your channel going?
Well, I've been in this period of research where I've really been doing a lot of just one video a week and just doing tons and tons of meditation, breath work, researching new stuff. I do believe that now is an important time for us to really raise our vibrations and our consciousness. There are calls out there for light workers to, be very much more dedicated right now. Now is the time to do it. And that is a really truthful and important thing. I think, like a lot of people, I expected some relief after Trump was, out of office. We all thought that things were going to get better and we could breathe a sigh of relief. And instead, it's just more of the same stress. And I personally, I'll speak for myself, it's driving me crazy. Like, I don't seem to put the baby to bed. I've got more and more, I'm trying to be the spiritual person, and the politics and stress keep coming up. And I'm like, how do I do both? So I think everybody's being triggered this way. And I have really had to try to address it and just do everything that I can to lower my own temperature, everything I can to stay focused. It's a tough job.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's like I had a realization last week. It's like I want to be this spiritual being who's up in there and knows everything's going to work out, and spirit is in charge, and we're just going through this tumultuous thing. And I also want to beat people up. So
Yes.
it's a contrast here with me.
It's a contrast, yeah. It's
Like,
a
I
strong
really want to go
contrast.
slap MTG so
Right.
bad.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's how do you live with both of those things at the same time? I would accept that is the edge we are all working, Sheila. That edge of do not kill, feel
Oh,
sympathy for. It's definitely challenging all of us
yeah,
to meet, when I say, like, prayer is really like one hand meeting the other, right? And
yeah.
trying to find a space between
Right.
being assertive and saying no and being a good person and generous is right there. That's the pressure points.
It's tough. It's a tough one here. So like, oh, I see
Yes.
my problem now.
Yes. Yeah. You're not alone. And I would say that to everybody watching. You're not alone.
Did you watch the State of the Union?
I did not get a chance. No.
Oh, well, when you get a chance, he really did a good job, except for the animal control forgot to come and get their howler monkey. They didn't show up in time to get the howler monkey out of there, which is interesting.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna
Well,
you'll see. She literally looked like she was coming from a garage sale with she wore a great America, make America great hat, and she was just looks like she went to a rally. I mean, she was so disrespectful to our country. I mean, even if she doesn't like Biden, you know what I mean? That is our country that
right.
she is literally just flipping off at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyhow, we have a lot to do today. So we have a lot of I outsourced some questions from the subscribers, and I think we got some really good ones. We're going to be all over the place, but definitely stay tuned. And here we go.
Please welcome, a son of Ballina and the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
All right, everyone. So I am going from the bottom up, the oldest question, and all the way up and see how far we can get. The first question up is from D.M3133. I don't know who that is, but it says, for one thing, he's amazing. So that was a compliment for you.
Well, thank you.
Will the two MAGA looks loose in New York City, in North Carolina? Wait a minute. Let me read this. Will the two MAGA looks loose in North Carolina? Governor position and head of education. Maybe they're asking you to look at the positions that are opening up, and will the MAGAs take control over them? I think there's
Yeah, well, I think by loose, they mean lose, maybe,
maybe
right?
lose. Maybe
So,
lose.
yeah, I don't know anything about
Oh,
these
she's
people.
saying MAGA kooks. I'm the one that can't read.
Oops. Okay,
Kooks.
all
The
right.
MAGA kooks lose. Will the two MAGA
Okay,
kooks lose? So, okay.
and this is for North Carolina?
North Carolina governor position and head of education.
Head of ed. Okay, well, so let's just check. I don't know who these people are. So I'm just gonna go and look at the let's just look at North Carolina. And then just see whether we go with red or blue. So let's start with governor of North Carolina. Do you know who the present governor of North Carolina is?
I do not, but I can look it up.
Yeah, let's go. I'm just gonna say I see a worried person. And I'm
His
assuming
name
this
is
is
Roy Cooper. He's actually in the Democratic
Roy.
Party. It's a Democratic governor of North
Yeah,
Carolina.
I felt that. I felt this is the governor and he's worried. Let's see. I see that this governor feels relief, however. The governor is worried. And it's like he's looking over there, like, uh-oh, what's going on over there? What's going on over there? But I feel a little bit like this governor just needs to go back to the principles that guided him and just be with the truth. Like, don't worry so much about this, the evolution that this governor appears quite worried about the fake news that is arising, constantly arising, and that's so true of our times. Is will the falsehoods, will fake news, be the victor now? That's our question, and that's the worry of this governor. Seems pretty intelligent, but let's just see at the end. Is he going to win? I think that he's going to do all right. I think that Roy Cooper will have some worries. I don't think it'll be a piece of cake race. I think it'll be pretty tough. And I think that he will have to work really hard to get this, to win this election. Harder than the last one, even. So he does have his work cut out for him. It will not be a walk in the park, but I think he'll make it. Do you know who the head of education is, or the present head of education?
Yeah, let me look.
Sure, thank you. Just- I'm seeing lots of books, by the way, and it looks like half the books are being denied. This is again a really big issue here.
It doesn't say the affiliation, but it is Catherine Truitt.
Kathleen Truitt.
I don't see an affiliation.
All right, well, let's just see if Kathleen, regardless. I think Kathleen Truitt is also a Democrat. She's looking kind of blue.
Catherine. It's Catherine.
Catherine.
R-I-N-E. Yeah, Catherine. I just want
R-I-N-E.
to-
Wow.
Yeah.
She's doing Catherine. Again, in the beginning, she's quite optimistic, but there are worries building. And it's really a difficult thing because, you got to protect the books. It's our right to read those books. It's the right of young people to be able to read books. So she's worrying about this, topic, like, do I take these books out? It's just a matter of conscience that she can't take the books out. She can't deprive people of the right to choose what they want to read. And so there is a great difficulty here for her. I think she makes it, but just barely. What I see is almost like a corner of the corner of something, the corner of what she does is kind of breaking up. It's almost like a portion of the foundation is breaking. And she's going to have to do a lot of work to fix that. But I kind of have a feeling that once she does that, this issue, the banning of books, will pass. It's just a temporary obsession with people who don't have other more interesting news to look at. So, let's one more time at Catherine. She might even have to go ahead and do that and ban some of the books. She might have to go along with the Republicans and take these books out. She doesn't seem happy about it, but it doesn't look like she'll have any choice. It might be that she has to remove these books under pressure, although she doesn't agree with it. And it might be that slowly, after she removes the books, that she just allows them to come back. Anything else you want to tell me, Catherine? She just says it's horrible to be in these jobs right now. They are questions really of just, the democracy surviving or not, and you have to make these really tough decisions. Like, if I stay in my position, then I have to do something that I don't agree with. But the alternative is worse. If a Republican gets in there, they'll totally destroy it. Now, again, I've just guessed, this person seems blue, so I've just guessed that they're Democrat. Maybe they're more centrist Republican. I don't know for certain, but I do get the issue being she doesn't want to ban these books, but may have to. Will she win? It's not certain that she will win anyway. I'd say it's just barely likely that she will win, but it's going to be a tough run.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I threw a card as you were talking, and I do see it's a threat.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff going on in North Carolina.
yeah,
Goodness gracious.
yeah.
But anyways, okay. So the second one is user HW5PH. I may not read all of these because the names are really wonky right now. But so the second one question is will Tesla, the company, and its stock survive Elon Musk's absurd proclivities? Do you know that word? Their mission seems good, and they are under attack from the oil industry.
Right. Let's take a look. Well, I just did a recent reading on Musk, and the man is in that job. I mean, he's just totally cray. He just there's no, yeah, he's becoming detached from reality. So the question is, will that affect his company? And I kind of get a no. The truth is, Tesla is running itself. It has nothing to do with Elon Musk. There are people in the position that are running Tesla that are making the scientific decisions for it. Musk is just trying to be famous. He's just pulling a Donald Trump, let's say crazy things and I'll get more attention. Maybe I'll be president too. That's his MO. But the company itself, well, I'm seeing a thermometer, And it is like, as things get hotter, Tesla does better. I think that we are reaching a time soon when people are going to acknowledge climate change, and that is going to benefit the company that is Tesla, despite Elon Musk. The oil companies are not happy about this, and they are going to do everything to challenge them politically to put them out of business. But let's see, will it succeed? I'm seeing a guy in a lab coat, and it's kind of like he's just like, meh, who cares what Musk does? I don't think Musk does anything anyway. I think he just is taking credit for the hard work of these people and the management. Now, there's thousands of people who are doing thousands of things at Tesla, and they they are doing things like, the marketing. So it doesn't have that much to do with Musk. I think he is smart enough to let them go and do their thing. So one more time, will it affect their bottom line? I think that it is going to affect their bottom line to a degree, but I think that the climate change issue is so great that it will, even though Musk is a jerk, that it just will not matter ultimately. Tesla, as I'm looking at Tesla itself, I feel good about that. I look at Elon Musk himself, I don't see the same future for him. So let's remember that these are different things, and Musk is probably smart enough to keep this walled off from his brain so he doesn't screw it up.
Well, I found it really fascinating that Elon Musk, who is doing with the Tesla, does that mean that the Trump supporters were buying Teslas? I don't know what the answer is. I'm like,
Contradiction.
Well, that's their whole life. So,
Right.
that's
Right.
who they are.
Right.
All right. So the next one is says, can you this is like almost like a personal kind of a question, I guess. Can you ask him if having a physical pyramid over my bed or asking spirit to place one there works similarly to like doctors, readers, how you say put a pyramid, think about putting a pyramid over there. Let me go on. So improving my intuitive abilities.
So is the question, how is it improving it?
She says, can having a physical pyramid over my bed improve my intuitive abilities rapidly now as well? Like,
Okay.
will it improve my ability? I guess that what she's wanting to do is readers come up with this advice for healing. Will it also improve her intuitiveness?
Well, I use that device for intuition. My advice, and you could see this on some of my videos, is that you create this pyramid and just put love into it, and just think of love. You think of things that people have done for you, or you've done for them. And I think it's a great idea to see the pyramid's color. Because if you recognize the pyramid's color, you'll see that your love has created that pyramid. Now, if you wind up with a black or a red pyramid, you're probably angry about something, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just needs to be addressed, right? What am I angry about? Find out, deal with it and stuff. The path towards intuition and learning is, as you'll know, it's a somewhat rocky path. It's not a direct one like, oh, I found enlightenment, it's all good. There's lots of evolution of the self. Sheila can tell you there's lots of debating and managing all your ups and downs, just like everybody else. It's hard work. And
Exactly.
so just for that, bring your dedication to the point where you're realizing that you do have to confront yourself and give up some bad habits. I'm down to a cup and a half of coffee a day. Who knew that could ever happen? But put the love in the pyramid and then put it around you. This is really more about protection. So some of my clients, they're just so intuitive that they're going to bed at night and they're just seeing like spirits are coming. Hey, Sheila, I want to chat. And you're like, I want to go to sleep, right? The pyramid is there to say, hey, I'm not ready. I don't want to chat right now. It's also there to say, hey, you dispossessed souls, I am not available for mediumship 24/7.
Right.
I would rather channel the light. So, you guys go off and do your thing, but I'm here to channel light beings and light understandings. There's lots of sort of floating energies, let's just say, around you. I don't think they're really evil or anything, but they will distract you. That's to me what the pyramid's about. The other pyramid I recommend is get a pyramid and put all your anxieties or whatever is, but the pyramid goes down into the earth, right? Now,
So,
this practice could help. It will really help, but it's not the only one. You should do
No.
it with lots of practices.
The first thing that came to my mind, and you're absolutely right, these are just for protections, like to kind of like hold on to all the evolution that you've already incurred, right?
Yeah.
And I hold that on. So here's a couple of things to remember. There's a lot of things out there that, how can I put this? Your abilities were given to you at birth, right?
Mhm.
They are unlimited. Everybody's abilities are unlimited from
Mhm.
every and all that. So the thought that you're trying to create a structure here on earth to improve your abilities kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All I know is I have better access to my abilities when I purge myself of the anger, the hate, the chaos, the destructive behaviors that we do out there to our bodies and to our minds and to our spirits. So that's what I keep on thinking. I was like, you have better access. But when you put that pyramid over, don't lock in anger.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah, that's not gonna
Get
work.
rid of the anger first before you lock it in.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Get an excellent point there, right? And there are so many practices to improve your intuition. Find the ones that work best for you,
Yeah.
right? Because what works for Sheila may not work for me, and vice versa, and that's completely okay. When you're learning this, it's kind of like trusting this voice that I'm getting, and verifying, like, I'm listening to this guru, and some of the things they're saying really don't make sense. And it's totally okay to go, I believe Dave this much, but I'm not taking that. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Right? This is a time when everybody is becoming intuitive. Some of us are in resistance to intuition, and we're like, no, think about this, look at this distraction. And it's really easy in our society to get and follow those roads down distraction. It's really, really easy. I would say the battle is this. Keep your wits about you. Be rational. Check with your heart. Does this person seem like they're on track? Because everybody can have a bad day. And also at the same time, sort of trusting what comes to you. What comes to you starts to get confirmed if you say something to the universe and birds keep landing nearby you. That's worth noting.
Right. There's roadblocks to our access. That's what I really want to kind of really reiterate. It's like we put our own personal blocks to the access that we have unlimited. It's already there. There is nothing there that you can push a button and you're going to get more of.
Right.
It's not, that's just not how it happens, but I do, and I can improve my access to it, like clear things out.
Right.
So
And you can also notice, when is my access the best?
Yes.
Wow. I haven't had so much sugar in a couple of days.
Yes.
Wow. Now I'm actually feeling differently. I'm less stressed. That'll be different for every single person. Your window of access, just notice that situation, how it evolved.
Correct. Absolutely. I can't have unavailable access if I go into, say, Walmart. I mean, I go Walmart drives me crazy. I'm just trying to be funny, but anyway, it's like that kind of a theory.
Yeah. But it's different for every person. Some people love the energy of Walmart, right? Some people like that, so if that works for you, I'm surprised, but it's, what do I know?
Yeah.
Right? It's not Sheila.
All right, so let's move on. That kind of gives a little bit of a thing. Don't lock in it. Don't put your pyramid up if you're angry at your neighbor. You're just gonna rehash that all night.
Right, all night.
Don't do it. Let that go. All right. So the next one is, will SCOTUS rule that Trump has immunity? Everybody wants to know this. Everybody's been asking this. So can you? I guess what I'm asking is, can you really kind of give it a good moment and see if
Okay.
you can see? We'll give you that, that.
Let's see. All right, just checking all the corners of my own pyramid here, make sure we're clear. The hard part, of course, is getting my emotions out of it, because this is so outrageous. The idea that anybody in America would be able to do anything they want because their president is just not democratic. So we do have to like get our feelings out of this. And ooh, I just see that Judge Clarence Thomas's face scowling at me. He's just scowling and waving his finger, and there's just an important aspect of that in our culture, that finger waving, scowling liar. That's what I get out of him. And when I look at him, particularly, I just get unethical person. He will say anything that supports the Republican Party. He is completely there. He is not aware of himself. And that is an aspect of his wife too. They're just locked into a particular thought, and they're not going to change. I don't think any of the other justices will back Thomas's interpretation. As a matter of fact, I think one thing that is good about this is that it is, frankly, another reason to impeach Thomas. If his decisions are not based on the law, the others, their decision is based on the law. And, let's face it, even if you're a Republican, do you really want a future president that can do anything that they want? What if that person is Democrat, and you'll be the one in the hot seat? Now, Alito is trying to find a way around this, but he can't. He can't find even a halfway. Well, he's kind of able, or here's a situation where he's a little bit able to do that. It's just not happening. So let's take a look a little further. What are you guys gonna do? Well, the Democrats on the Supreme Court are, of course, looking absolutely appalled, like their mouths are open, like, are you kidding? The fact that they brought this case forward is a travesty of justice. There's no reason to bring such a case. There's no legal question at hand here. We already know the answer. So it's really very much what they're really doing is helping Trump to delay. They also, and that is even the conservatives, with the exception of Thomas, know very well that there's nothing legal about Trump's claim to immunity. There's no such claim, and nowhere in the Constitution does it say the president's immune for things that he does. It says he can't be, well, the FBI says he can't be prosecuted, but the Justice Department says he can't be prosecuted, but that's their interpretation. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says that. And I think that's the decision that 8 of them are going to come to. It's just that we can't find anything in the Constitution that will justify Trump's behavior. We're a little bit worried that Biden did this, then Biden's able to get away with anything. And we don't want that. So they kind of have to decide this way. Let's just ask if there's anything else we need to know about this. Well, again, one good thing about this is shadow and light. It's like I see one bit of the shade, we have to recognize that there are these lawless people, lawless judges in our society, that they are simply ideological agents of a conservative change. That's what they want, and they don't care about the law. And that's a percentage of the judiciary now, is people who do not care about the law anymore. But even the Republicans need an anchor to change the law. That is, except for Clarence Thomas.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I think that there's something maybe left in them that they feel about a certain type of thing, like a pure lie or whatever.
Mhm.
But it's beholden. I did a remote view or a reading. It's about the beholden. So they have created an atmosphere in the Republican Party. I am beholden to you. So when you can be a Republican, but you can also do the law to the letter of whatever it is. I don't care what if you're affiliated with. But when you are beholden to a certain person, place, rich person, whatever, then you have to skew it to fit that. But I did get, as you were going, the denial of the devil. So as you were reading it, I'm loving this where I'm getting the cards. I'm like, I'm just going to read while he's doing this. The card came out, the denial of the devil.
Let's hope. Let's hope this is the interpretation that
The devil
Trump
is
is viewed as the devil, right? And I think that's fair, that he should be viewed as the devil. You know, anybody who thinks they could do anything they want because they're president, I'd say that's pretty close to Satan.
right. And so maybe it's not necessarily Trump as they consider him the devil, but the denial of the evil that
Right.
they see coming out of that and the reality of that. So well, we'll see. The energy changes a lot sometimes. And that is difficult. That's difficult for me to, because I'm kind of connected and I check in on the energy every so often, like, let's see what they're thinking now. They took it, and you're absolutely right. It was they took money to do the time delay TikTok. I lay my whole career on that they got paid somehow, some way.
They get paid by, going on vacations, etc. When they decided that corporations, people could give any amount of money to any political candidate, that there were no limitations. Several judges had just been on a 3-day fabulous vacation.
Correct.
Where they plied them, where the people, very, very rich people, plied them with alcohol and whatever else, and convinced them that this was democratic. So they didn't pay them cash. They just give them a really nice car to drive.
Absolutely. Well, they all know that they can't get it traceable. So that is definitely a point. But all right, let's move on from that. And now I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I really wasn't. I was kind of out of the loop on this one, but I think do you know who did Sonny finally provide documents to Bragg up in New York shortly after the trial? They were requested a year ago. So apparently Alvin Bragg didn't get the documents that he asked for a year ago until like a few moments ago, apparently. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe you can read on that and see what's going on with that.
Okay, and this is the Alvin Bragg case. And I'm going to look at documents and Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg gives me the strangest look, and it's like bug-eyed, like I've surprised him. It's strange. He looks he looks almost like he's in shock of something that happened. So I don't know what the shock's about, but he looks like really shocked, and he's pointing somewhere, and he's just like, I can't believe it. What's wrong, Alvin? What is it that you can't believe? he can't believe something that's going on in the courthouse, because I'm seeing a courthouse with columns. He can't believe it. What is it that you can't believe? Oh, I see boxes and boxes and boxes of paperwork. And I think he's surprised by the amount of paperwork, the amount of information that he has. He gives a feeling of the courthouse working against him. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna process all of this paperwork in a month. That's the feeling that I get from him. What else, Alvin? And he's shocked and a bit angry. It feels like he is being played a little bit, that somebody's playing some games with him, that what he expected to be a neutral body, that is the courthouse, is not neutral. They're fooling around, and they appear to be somewhat on Trump's team. Something's not right. Something's not right about this case, and something's not right about the information that's been shared. There are some people who are pulling strings to make sure that Alvin Bragg doesn't get the information that he needs, or that he gets it last minute so that it's so huge that he's like, oh, well, I have to delay again. I can't get all this done in 30 days. He is being played, and he's starting to recognize that he's being played. There are more powerful forces at hand than him, and he's starting to realize, like, this is not right. He thinks he understands the courthouse, and he thinks that they are a worthwhile and neutral institution, but he's starting to realize that he's wrong. Somebody higher up is really messing with his case. Some things are hidden from him. He should have been given this information before. It changes the case. I think that some of it is really, really obvious stuff. Like, what? Are you kidding? You didn't give this to me before? And I'm just going to say, is it damning of Trump, that information? Yes. I think very damning information about Trump has been hidden from Alvin Bragg. And now there's so much of it. It's like putting out 1,000 boxes when only one piece of paper is relevant. He's like going through all of this information and they're realizing, like, this isn't right. Something else is going on here. It's not neutral and just what's going on. Let's see if there's anything else from Brad. It's becoming cynical. He's really disappointed with the system and a bit angry. That's what I get out of this. Did you pull any cards?
I did.
All right.
I'm
What do
enjoying
you
this
get?
part. Yeah, because your energy that comes through, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna read on what you're picking up. Actually, I got charity. I got Six of Pentacles as charity, but TikTok. So the time on the giving. That's what I think he's more pissed off about. Was this was important. This was important to the case. This was important news. This was important. And I think what you're feeling is the divine. I think this is coming from the Stormy Daniels. I think that's what he's pissed off about. Is Stormy Daniels is getting a little wonky on him. But I get hangman and receipts. He gets them. He has to, like you said, he has to have that different perspective on the receipts now. But I have a feeling it was the divine feminine. I think it was Stormy Daniels. It was kind of messing him up a little. But I get the Eight of Cups, where the egotism, it says withdraw from the meeting. So he did withdraw, and he gave it another 30 days. Well, actually 3 weeks. So he did withdraw from the 25th of March, and he only gave it a 3-week extension. So he did do that. But I get legal and court papers filed. So eventually he does do that, and I get the Eight of Pentacles, which is the development of it. But I have a feeling you're picking up on Stormy Daniels.
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
There's something that was delayed that she didn't tell, or
oh yeah. Yeah, that could, I think that's accurate.
threw a little monkey wrench into the things.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, yeah, poor thing. Anyhow, I mean, he'll be the first one to do criminal charges, right? He'll be the first one. He was the first one to put the indictment out, and he's going to be the first one that also bring criminal charges, which could land Cheetah Boy into jail. So,
Mhm.
Mr. Cheeto,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
refuse to give him the respect of the name, the word president, because he just didn't deserve it.
No, he did
So
not.
at all. All right, so somebody wants you to read on JFK Jr.
Oh, ugh. Again, clear up my emotions. I have very strong,
Read on
strong
JFK.
feelings.
Yeah.
Strong feelings about people who do nothing about nothing like dedicating themselves. They just use the family name of those who have. I have very strong feelings about this. After all, there are thousands of you watching who've done an entire life of service to your community, and you don't have a famous name. So you're just that person at the cocktail party with an opinion. It is totally unfair. Okay, now I've said my opinion. I'm going to get them out of there. JFK Jr. You're just a bit of a nutter. It's just like, some people get struck by lightning more than one time. He's like a lightning guy. He's just always it's like an energy comes into him and he believes he knows everything. And, he's made all these statements about, Biden in Ukraine. Has this guy ever been to Ukraine? JFK Jr. He doesn't know anything that the average person, watching TV knows. So it's a little bit of that Elon Musk energy. If I say controversial things, I'll be famous. Very simple-minded person. He's just that kooky uncle who, runs around with his pants off on Thanksgiving. He just happens to be named Kennedy, so people listen to him. And was there any specific question about Kennedy? Just generally. He's just a distraction. He just runs around in circles, just runs around in these crazy circles.
I think he was put there to throw the Democrats off.
Yeah, yeah. And when we say put there, often these people just put themselves there. It's just like the bell's ringing, they step up. Because, whoever heard of him be JFK Jr. before now?
Well, we all knew he existed. However, he shows up, but he didn't fool the Democratic Party. So, but what will happen? I really do believe that because he was on the side of the Republicans. I mean, Tucker Carl, all of them, it was his friends. And they're like, you step up so that we can draw and siphon any votes away from Biden. However, it didn't fool the Democrats whatsoever. But I think it's going to flip on them. And I think he's going to siphon away Republican
Yeah,
voters
yeah,
away from Trump in the primary.
right. Because I think some people are like, we want kooky, but we don't want as kooky as Trump.
Right.
So we'll just go sort of half kooky.
Yeah. I
Right?
can't stand his
Kooky, but
voice.
irrelevant.
Yeah. His voice sounds like he's a smoker. And have you heard smoker voices? And it's just, I have a hard time with smoker voices. Yeah. Then we have Vivek Ramaswamy, who's don't get me started on these people.
Another nut job. Right. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. I know we're about an hour or so in. Do you have plenty of time, or
Oh, I've got a few more minutes. Yeah.
okay? Because I have a lot here. I'm going to probably start siphoning or looking through a few of them. Let's see. E. Jean Carroll, will she go after Trump again because he defamed her again? Does she have energy in that? She's gonna win. I mean, if she goes again, how many times she goes, she's gonna win.
She is so happy right now. And it's great, for all of you who, watch Trump get away with murder, whenever you think about Trump getting away with murder, just look at Eugene Carroll and say, yeah, it took her many, many years, but she finally nailed him, right? And she's not some big, powerful megalith, corporate owning person. She's just a regular person. So she's just shining and she's got all the money. And I get a really good feeling about her with this money that she's going to put it to good use. And it'll be like Eugene Carroll donates, $10 million to homeless people. Carroll dedicates, $20 million to stop this political candidate in this particular place. And she just has a really an energy of just, a good person. This is what most of the viewers would do if we got $100 million. We would start doing good things with it. And that's what she's about. And it's great that it's Trump's money. So every time she goes, I'm spending $10 million on the homeless, Trump knows that it's his money. And he hates the homeless. But will she sue him again? She just looks at me and says, well, why not? That is my revenge. I have the pleasure of deciding to sue him or not sue him as I choose, as I see fit. And she's like, I've got them running scared. That's more important to Carol than anything else. I've got them too scared to say anything about me, which is what she wanted. And she's got the luxury of this money. But it's more important that she just had a public win. She's just very glad about the public winning. And as having publicly won, again, it's more important than the money. It's just she was so humiliated. And now she's overcome the person that's humiliating her and she's able to reverse it. That is very, very important for all of us so that we know that Trump can be beaten.
Agreed.
It's almost like she has so much sympathy for Fonnie Willis. She's like, yeah, that was me, right? Let's see. She shows me more money. Yeah, I think she will do it and she'll keep doing it and she should keep doing it.
Yeah, I got the 10 of Pentacles for her.
Yeah.
So I do too. I think she's just gonna keep on going. I'm like, she has nothing to lose and all she has is time.
Yeah.
That's her attitude. Like, I have nothing to lose and all I have is
Uh-huh. Should I go on vacation? Should I see Donald? Well, let me think about this.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to skip a few up there. At the end of this, to think about it, I'm going to ask you to give us a message because of the solar eclipse of the moon and the sun coming through, and also all of the solar flashes that we've been getting. I just want you to kind of draw out any message that all of that is trying to give us. So at the end, but let's go to Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell, he's going through some legal problems, right? So we want to know if he's going to also be convicted of a crime because of all of his shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
You can
It's so funny. So as I look at these things, these people are all symbolic. It's like they're, here's the symbolic rich guy, all powerful, can never be questioned. He's the male figure who has all the power and gets to decide anything. About how crazy he is. And that is just so symbolic of people in our time. And I think they're having these issues come to them almost as a representation for all of us. Let's take a look at Mike Lindell. I think even Mike Lindell is starting to realize what a big mistake he made. And this is the other thing that I think is symbolic. If we put all Trump supporting men in real situations where they had to deal with Trump and lie for him and watch Trump drop them, then, they would change their minds, right? And here we see Mike Lindell going through all that stuff. And he is symbolic, there's lots of people like him watching this and going, you could get in a lot of trouble if you support the untruth. He looks sad. I get the feeling of his life being over. And it all being really foolish. He was incredibly rich. He didn't have to support Donald Trump. He was already incredibly rich. He could have spent the rest of his life doing, he could have spent his rest of his life doing anything he wanted. And instead he had to go here. And I think that's what he's realizing. It's almost like a life of luxury bored him. And because he got everything he wanted, he was bored. And so he took it a step further. The life of luxury is sort of feeding his ego, and the ego sort of burst through and controlled him. And now he realizes his mistake. Lindell will not live a happy life for the rest of his life. It'll just be downhill. And I think that he will face difficult financial situations, poverty. I think there was somebody in his life that he lost because of this. There was a bit of him that was a good person, and it seems to have been attached to a woman, and that woman is now gone. And it has, and I see this happening in our society over and over again. Men are in relationships, and the relationship doesn't work out, and they're so angry they can't figure out what they did wrong that they just blame all women, or they blame all liberals, or they blame all feminists because their relationship didn't work out. And it really was them just being naive and not knowing any better. That doesn't justify it at all. They're just these naive characters walking around. And now the lady has left, and they can't get her back, and they're angry, so they'll just blame everyone. That's him. But I think he's realizing his mistake. He has remorse now, especially about a woman in particular. And this could just be the divine feminine. But I do feel like it really was a person that is perhaps a child or a love interest, definitely female. That's like, I can't be around you anymore. And that sent him off into his even more eccentricity.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I got the Four of Cups. Somebody is not, it's like apathy with him. Somebody has a lot of apathy with him. And it is somebody differently personal. And he's back in the news again. We hadn't heard anything from him for a while, but of course he's broke again. He has to pay legal fees. So he's doing this fake thing with the Supreme Court so he can get a whole bunch of donations so he can do whatever. It's just a grift.
It is.
Just a grift.
Mhm.
All right. So I have one here. Angelique Alchemy 888. I need to say her because she's like, wow, I can hardly wait. She was very, very excited about this. So can you please look into Haiti government? The Haiti government issue and see when things will get better or whatever's going on with that.
Well,
You're close to Haiti, aren't you?
I don't think so. I think Haiti's near South America.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's not a geography program, right?
Thank goodness.
And for those of you who are interested in Haiti, I just want to do a shout out for a great movie about a lady called Maya Deren, who became a shaman in Haiti. And it's called The Mirror of Maya Deren. You get a chance, watch it. She's a really interesting character and says something really nice about Haiti, right? That she was able to become this priestess very quickly. She was very dedicated. But let's look at Haiti. It's so stormy there. It's so full of just energy and shifting, and just I get like the feeling the gods are angry. They have very specific gods there in Haiti, and they're angry. They're just, everything is churning. And I think they're angry about the government, which didn't live up to any of its promises for the people when they were liberated. And that people don't have good leaders. Because they don't have good leaders, they can't change things very much. Lots of guns. Because people don't have good government, so all they can do is get their own gun and try to be the government, except that just turns out to be whatever people want today. There's so much going on there. So let's ask, will it get any better? It will when things start to change at the top. I don't know when this will be, but there are good leaders being created now who are seeing what's going on. And it will start at the very, very tip top. Someone will get in there that is more caring and wants reform. And then it will start to work its way down and really improve that community. This will not happen right away. It may take a lifetime to make this happen. I'm sorry to say that for those people. I have empathy for you, but part of the happiness you must find is to be in balance with the spirits of where you live. It will not arrive immediately from the government. It will take a long time. So we see light coming from below, from the people, and from the top, right? To bring those two together. It will take some time. Was there any other specific question about Haiti?
No, I don't think so. It was just to give an overall look and see and what was going on. So
There is a
that was a
divine.
hard one because that is like shifting sand for me. I've looked into Haiti several times, and every time I see water, like somebody putting their hands in the sand and raising it out and watching the sand and the water shifting through, it just shifts. There's some kind of energy there that's not stable, and I don't think it's that people's fault. I just think that the energy there is makes everybody crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's what kind of what I get sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I always look and say, maybe it'll be stable, maybe, but somebody puts their hand in the sand again and sifts through it. So it's kind of weird. All right. Let's see. I've been kind of scrolling through. Sorry, everyone. I can't get to everybody's questions, but I scrolled up a little bit. There is one about Jack Smith and the Judge Cannon and Trump case. If you can kind of look and get a temperature on that and see what's going on.
Right. Well, one thing that's good is that Jack Smith is really much smarter than her. Okay, so you might think of it in this way. I mean, the less we say about Aileen Cannon, the better. It's just, who are these people that are, cooked so deeply in their dogma that they come out in opposition to the truth? But one thing that's good about that is such people just aren't very smart. They don't know a lot. Jack Smith knows a lot, and Jack Smith knows infinitely more than she does. Like, he's like 17 steps ahead of her. So he's already able to predict the next stupid move that she's going to make. So it's like, oh, hey, well, she's going to try this, and when I do, I'm going to have this ready. He perceives that Aileen Cannon is the problem with the case. Just everything that she does is going to be to thwart it. So he can do a bunch of things, one of which is just make it just be so good that she has several unforced errors. His goal is to get her off the case and just present things that unforced errors that she makes that make her look foolish again and again. This is a battle against Cannon, not against Trump, because she really is the linchpin that's getting in the way. And I just don't doubt him for 1 second. He's just like this high up, and he just goes, okay, what's next? What do I do? And so it's kind of like, when you have that friend that always changes plans, so that they're going to change plans, so that when they come over, you're prepared, and you say, oh, sorry, we can't change plans. I already told somebody we're going to meet them at 3. That person who's just always doing that, that's his relationship with Cannon. And it's really like, he's like, nothing personal. I'm not making it emotional. I'm just predicting. He's showing me just maybe 4 times she screws up and she's done. So what she doesn't recognize is that he knows exactly what she's doing, and he is going to set things up to make her look foolish. And she's not smart enough to see how not to look foolish. So she has to keep responding. And when she does, she exposes the fact that she really has no idea what she's doing. She's just an ideologue in a judge's robes. I see Jack Smith rolling his eyes like, that was lame, kid stuff. So I think there's 2 more times that she's going to screw up because he's showing me 2. How's she going to screw up? She's just doing things too quickly, and she's just almost like scrambling, writing something, and he's there going, yeah, that was dumb. So that's one of the times. And it seems like she might make a procedural mistake. And that procedural mistake will be like the 4th time she's messed up the case. And then I think there's a panel of judges who are going to say, you can't handle this case.
She hasn't even set a date.
Yeah.
She hasn't even set a date. And
Yeah,
she's not going to.
Yeah, canon is the problem.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll do anything. She'll do anything to support her her sort of ideological position. Look,
For money.
these people, and for money.
She's not doing it out of the goodness of her heart. She's doing it for
Well, keep in mind, these people can justify themselves by saying, a woman's right to choose is murder. Therefore, anything I do is okay.
Yep.
Which is how people who do things that are wrong always do that. They take an ideological position and say, I am right, and anything that gets me there is okay. Even if I am a judge, I am right. I'm, saving these babies, blah, blah, blah. That's the motivation she justifies. That's also the other motivation is, yeah, I'll get a really good job when I'm no longer a judge. If I follow along this path, they will justify themselves morally for just getting the attention. That's what most people want, is just for their friends to pat them on the back. And that's what she's after too.
Well, that's ironic? I mean, I got the Ace of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, the money that's going to the Ace of Cups, right? Her cup runneth over with money.
Yeah.
Not a lot, because the Page of Pentacles is like that hidden guy, right? The desire,
Right.
the manifestation, the financial opportunity. However, I got the Ace of Swords too, which I thought, but it's also breakthroughing, new idea, and the 4 of Swords. The new idea is the 4 of Swords for her. And then the 3 of Pentacles, which it goes up against a team. So everything you said was exact. So that was pretty cool. All right. It's the energy is just, it's like a game of chess right now. Jack Smith makes a move, they make a move, they make a move, they make a move. So we're just watching this great big huge game of chess at this point. I do believe that Trump and the Trump lawyers and all of that, they are losing, but they are gaining their little baby steps, as in delay. They don't care about anything else but a delay.
Right.
That's the game. So
because that's the only way out. That's the only way the former guy will succeed. Yeah. I think many factors are working to take Trump down. Those aren't the judiciary. Right.
Well, everybody out of his cabinet, of course, I'm going to hire the best people, but how many of them now are like, no, absolutely not. There's so many, like the House of Representatives, people are leaving, like, left and right. They're like, no.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor that there's 3 more that's going to leave. I'm kind of figuring who that might be, but there's a rumor that 3 more of them are going to leave. I mean, it was literally on the news that somebody had said, we're Buck's going, you know what I mean? And they're like, and you wait till you see the next 3 that are leaving. So it's like a rumor out there now.
That would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. They know what they need to do. And if they can just buck up and get it done, they know what they need to do. If there's a mass exodus of Republicans, the House of Representatives will fall to the Democrats, and then they can stop all this nonsense.
Right.
But,
well, those Republicans, they've been getting death threats too.
Yeah.
They are looking forward to, like, if I don't do this, maybe I'm putting my life and my family's life in danger, right? Just by being a member of the House of Representation, I am taking a risk, a major risk, and a psychological risk, a personal risk, family's a risk. You know, do I really want to do that? Not to mention, I'm sacrificing all my morals to
Yep.
support
Well,
this
that's
party.
what the one of the Democrats, I can't remember who it was, like, oh, now you know how we feel. Like, all the Republicans are now upset, but they're getting death threats, and the Democrats are like, well, now you know how we feel every day.
Right, right,
This
yeah.
is what
And
we've
hey,
been going through.
Republicans, you could have done something about doxing, like make it illegal, but you
Yep.
didn't,
Yeah,
right? You failed, just you failed at every else other thing that you did under Trump, except giving money to very rich people.
yeah. Which one day I'm pretty sure that'll get once we get control, I'm pretty sure that'll get be a stop somehow. Somehow they'll get that taken care of. However, okay, so we're at the end. So what I would like for is maybe a channeled message. We have, like I said, the lunar eclipse coming. We have the sun eclipse coming. We have solar flares that are getting really big and huge from the sun. So there's a message that in that energy, and I was wondering if you could tap into that message from that energy.
Sure, the shifting energy. Well, this is a great image. I get the Buddha, and the Buddha is sitting with light and dark, right? And the Buddha could also be Kuan Yin. It doesn't have a gender, right? So there's like dark coming this way, light coming this way, and the Buddha is able to sit in both places at the same time. So that's what we're being trained to do. Can we sit in these horribly stressful situations and still do the right thing? Can we come for justice without being unkind? That's a really tough thing to do. You know, it is, you know, can you believe in what you believe in at the same time and stand up for it without becoming this, you know, really angry person that turned that, you know, the right wing are going to point like, oh, look how angry you are. This is not an easy task. And everybody watching and you and I are really in this difficult time where we're being expected, like Fonnie Willis, to like live up to some incredibly impossible high ideal when the, you know, people we're opposing have no ethics and no behaviors. It is in a way like we're being watched to see if we can rise above it. And this is super challenging. We might look at it and say, you know, all of us, every single one of us are Jesus in the desert. We're being made to face every problem that we have, even the smallest little psychological issue. We're being made to acknowledge these, work with them, not condemn ourselves, but kind of try to work through that. And we're being asked that at the same time. We see all these outrageous behaviors. Think of that contradiction. Like, hey, I'm Fonnie Willis. All I did was have this relationship, which technically I'm not supposed to have. You know, Hillary Clinton, all I did was have a server in my house without some kind of, you know, machine to regulate it. These are not big deals, but we're being asked to look at all of those things. I would say that it is okay, it is fair for our own learning that we are asked to look at these things. It does not have anything to do with what other people are doing. And it doesn't have anything to do with the political situation that we are in. It's a lot to ask of us. And as we're doing this, notice other people who prevailed. You know, Mahatma Gandhi, there are so many others, Martin Luther King. There's so many people who were able to see, you know, hey, I've got my own contradictions, but I still know the difference between right and wrong. This is going to be a stressful time. Do what you can to get some light. Whatever brings light into your soul, nature, just the light itself, sun, just sitting and letting yourself be in the light. We are going to need this in the coming times of just moments where we're not thinking about politics, where we're just relaxing, where we're just seeing the beauty and the joy of the planet that we live on. friendships. One thing about the shadow is we're getting better at noticing what is shadow. And, you know, maybe when we were younger, we had that crazy power person and we were not able to confront them. But now we are, because a lot of people are collectively say this is a crazy power person. Supreme Court conservatives were doing bad things before, it's just now they're being highlit. And that's a good thing. The fact that we're recognizing these things is what was supposed to happen. So don't let it shake you. Don't let it, the fact that there are some things that we're working on, don't let that distract you from the point of moving forward. Is there anything else that we can see here? If you're having trouble, really consciously just sit down and ask for the light. Just say, hey, you know, I need a boost right now, universe. Not a bad idea to do pyramids and other kinds of practices, but really feel free to ask and say, I need some energy now. I need some light. This is hard work. We've been really plodding away and battling for a long time. I need a rest. Don't hesitate to do that. Everybody deserves that moment in time. And also, as we are going over any like issue, any problem or stuff, remember that that is just organically what we do in a lifetime. It has nothing to do with the politics or what other people are doing. That is for us to learn and to become. Nobody is perfect. We're on this planet to work our edges. It doesn't mean things are black and white at all. Things are sometimes gray. Everybody has faults. No one is perfect. And if you look at yourself and discover these things, you're well on your way to learning. Give yourself a break too, though. It is hard work looking at all these things today. Trust spirit, go there in your heart, and you will be relieved as we continue along this line of work.
I agree. That was a very good message. And you know, that's the one thing that I think that all of this energy that's coming to this earth is giving, you know, it's like you know, it brings to mind like if somebody is having heart problems and they get those little jolts out, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
universe is like, come on,
Yeah.
start you up. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, you need those moments. Take them. Take them when they show up and create them if they don't. 'Cause we're going to need that in the next couple of years.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Dave, for always being here. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate you, and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.